I forgot to bring my microphone, but hopefully I'm talking loud enough. I'm gonna try to project, but I am sitting right next to a lake, looking at the water, and it's very quiet, very peaceful. Very glad to and thankful to have a change of scenery. And I think the topic I'm going to talk about today is a relationship with God. And what does that look like? And, when I think about this 1-year journey, what I have found, and honestly, even before I started the 1-year journey, if you look at one of my really older videos, one that I made at the beginning of this year, just kind of how I think I talked about what this year is going to look like, what I wanted it to look like. And I did, the first quarter of the year, I did many things. I haven't showed you some of the things that I did, but I did many things. Decluttered, cleaned, chopped my hair off. I did a lot. And by May, I crashed. I completely and utterly crashed and did not. It just wasn't that. I was doing things. I was being productive. It just wasn't working. I was being productive. It wasn't helping. So now that I have started the 1-year focus on health, I talked about emotional health. And today I think it's going to be about spiritual health. And I am finding that it's the most important thing for me. It impacts everything else. And I have, at different points in life, I have not given it the focus that it needs. So where I am right now is I've been trying to figure out what relationship with God looks like for me. In my late 30s, being a mom, a wife, trying to maybe this is my midlife crisis. Maybe that's what's going on. I'm gonna have to look into that. Maybe that's what's happening. Because I'm evaluating, I'm evaluating things in my life and decisions I've made. Sorry, I just keep hearing things. And how I ultimately just deal with situations and things that cross my path. And that That's why I found it. I found it. My dad's over there. My dad's. Look, I was hearing stuff. I was like, I know I'm hearing things. Where is it coming from? I like the nature, y'all, but and honestly, I'm not really in nature. There are people everywhere. But anyway, I'll get back to that. I'm evaluating life. I'm seeing what is going on, honey. What is happening? How you feeling? And one thing I've evaluated is, what does relationship with God look like to me? Because what it looks like to me, what I've been taught it looks like, is going to church, doing Bible studies, going to prayer meeting, formal prayers, getting on your knee, just different stuff like that. My mom did instill in me that prayer is communication, so I can talk to God at any point in time. It's not like I gotta have my hands together on my knees, eyes closed. That wouldn't be very safe to do if I were driving. So, and you can pray when you drive. You can talk to God when you drive. So, I never had that, but sometimes I have judged where I am. There have been days where I was like, I don't want to pick up my Bible and I don't feel like reading it right now. And I would feel like, well, that's how that's how you talk to God. Like, if you don't pick up your Bible, that's not what relationship looks like. And I just kind of have gotten to the place where God is gonna accept me where I am is fine. We want to talk to him. And when you're in relationship with God, you change and you grow. And during that time where I just was not wanting to read my Bible, and I wasn't wanting to study, and I wasn't wanting to do any of that stuff, I got rid of that voice in my head. And that was telling me that this is how. And said, no. I'm gonna just, for now, what I am able to do in this moment is just talk to God. And that's what I did. And then after that, a little at a time, I started wanting to pick up my Bible. I started being like, I want to look into this. So don't judge where you are. Like, relationship, like God, and building a relationship with God, I believe that God is happy that you are communicating with him. I can remember hearing people say, come as you are. Come as you are. But make sure that you wear a nice church outfit. Make sure that you don't have on jewelry. Make sure that you have your hair combed. Make sure that your breath is not funky. Make sure that you don't smell stinky. Come as you are, though. Don't bring your mess. Come as you are, though. That's how we are sometimes. So I just had to believe that that's not how God is. God is for real. Come as you are. So I decided I was gonna come as I was. And right now, God, I wasn't trying to pick up my Bible and study, because that's not what I had. And I believe that when you start that relationship, he's with you every step of the way. So that's where I started. So regardless of what you're doing, regardless of what your life looks like, regardless of what people say, come as you are. Period. No ifs, no ands, no buts. Come as you are. And here I am. Once you've done that, I think my next step was continuing to walk. I'm still like, I'm walking, I'm moving, and I'm still struggling. God, I'm still struggling. Like, this is not, I'm sad all the time. I'm feeling all the time. God, life is not, it's just not. And then recently, I watched this video. I can't remember. I hear a child crying. I don't think it's mine though. Yeah, that's not mine. It is a good cry. I think I found the child in the trees. Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm over here being nosy, not minding my business, y'all. Okay, let me get back to what I was saying. Alright. I paused for a second. See, it wasn't just me. My dad came around the corner and was like, what happened? What happened? I let him know it wasn't ours. It wasn't our child. But when you hear that cry, when you have one, then you be on alert. Okay. So I watched this video and they were talking about abiding. And they put it in a practical way. Like, what does it mean as far as relationship with God is called? What did that look like to be in communication? And the way that they described it, I don't know if you've like had those moments where you going through something, like you just for real going through something, and then you call one person and they don't pick up, and you call the next person and they don't pick up, and then you call the next person and then they don't pick up, and you just feel so alone, like nobody's available. And I don't know why it hit me, but I was like, oh my gosh, I'm never alone. Like, you're literally never alone. And you forget that. We forget it. That we're never alone. But it's because there's this relationship there that we have not decided to tap into. We haven't decided to invest in it. So back to abiding. I can't remember exactly everything that the video was talking about, but it just said there are 3 things that you can do to abide. One is to, first thing in the morning, level set, like you God. Good morning, God. but I didn't. But good morning, God. How you doing? This is how I'm feeling waking up. Have your initial conversation. Level set your day. Put that in, and then that's the first thing. Then after that, periodically, just as things happen, check in. You know how you just, I don't know if you're this type of person, but in some relationships, and this is how it was when I was younger. I don't know if it changes when you get like older and into adulthood and you actually have a job and other things to do. But do you all text at various times during the day? Just hey, how you doing? Just thinking about you. Have a little check-in. And then have check-ins when something irritates you. I did it the other day. I said something to my husband, and the response I got, ooh wee, man. I vented real good to God. Vented real good. But yeah, talk to God about all the things. The irritations with work. God, this child, Jesus. God, I'm overstimulated. I'm overstimulated. This child is on 10. I've had enough of 10. Is it time for bed? What time is it? Is it time for bed? It actually is almost time for bed. I'm so excited. He missed his nap today. Ooh. Okay. But yeah. And then the final thing is end your day with him. Talk to God when you go to bed. Tell him all about your troubles and all your happy moments. Just talk to him. So that is what I've seen, and I'm like, all right, God. As I continue to talk to you, as I get into the habit of communicating with you, asking you for, saying, God, hey, what should I do in this situation? God, how do I do this? Because I was watching The Chosen Adventures. I tried to watch The Chosen. The Chosen Adventures is kid version of the show The Chosen. I know people love The Chosen, but I honestly have not gotten into it. I keep trying. Eventually, if you've watched it, please let me know if I should, maybe there's a certain episode that I gotta get through. I don't know. Maybe I watch it when I'm tired. I don't know. But anyway, I watched The Chosen Adventures though, because I let Christian watch it. And look, The Chosen Adventures was giving me information. I'm like, I need to go watch The Chosen Adventures. I need that information for myself. Like, seriously. Talk about abiding. There's a really loud boat passing by. It's very loud. But as I was saying, it's speaking to me. It's telling me things, and it's relationship. There was an episode, I can't remember what it was, but like the little girl was asking her dad some questions and he didn't know the answers, so he went to a rabbi to ask the questions, and he was like, her dad was a fisherman, And he was like, I don't have the answers to certain questions. She's asking me this stuff, and I don't know the answers. And the rabbi was like, well, you know what? I may not always have the answers, and you may not either. But you can always, who you can go ask. And apparently, his daughter, the little girl who's the main character, she's got a relationship with Jesus, because Jesus is living there. And he went to Jesus and asked his question, and Jesus actually helped him. And he was like, I now understand why my daughter comes to you for things. We should probably just go ask our questions. God, how do I handle this situation? What do I do? God, where should this child go to school? Who should be educating this child? Please reveal to me what school he should go to, how we should deal with this particular situation. Instead of trying to create solutions like the people in the Bible did. So, just relationship, abide. Talk to him throughout the day. Ask for his guidance. And that's kind of where I am. That's what I want to practice. It makes me think of Mary and Martha when Jesus came to visit. And I think it was Mary who was in the kitchen, like doing all the stuff, and she was preparing for dinner and stuff, and then Martha was in there. She was like, ooh, let me go sit down, let me talk to Jesus, because Jesus is in the kitchen. No, I'm talking to Jesus. And here comes, I really hope I'm right on this, because I'm telling the story as if I have the names right. Here comes Mary talking about Jesus. Tell her to come and help me. And Jesus is like, no, she's doing the right thing. She's talking to me. She's in a relationship with me. So let's not get distracted. All these things. Doing all these things. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. I gotta do this. I gotta declutter. I gotta make this video. I gotta go join this team or do this activity or do this special project. And we are skipping relationship with God. So that is going to be my focus, is abiding, not just in moments of need, but throughout the day. And I hope you will join me in taking some time out and prioritizing that relationship. Looking at your schedule, looking at the things that take up all your time, and seeing if you can make more room. I will make room for you. I will prepare for two, so you don't feel that you, I don't know the other words. Please live in